So, as a reminder for everybody watching, the gimmick of this fort, if a dwarf dies, I cannot memorialize the body. I can dispose of it, but I can't memorialize it. All right? We did this last Halloween. It's not going to end well. That's why I'm doing this in its own one-off world. It's easy. No tombs required. Yes. But there will be a point where this fortress will escalate quickly. Can you memorialize pets, though? Okay, actually, I don't want to use the word murder, Darius, specifically because YouTube none like it. I think I've talked about this before, but like, yeah. Basically, I wouldn't be able to put the title of the fort. I would have to use the Dwarven translation. Could I call it Pet Cemetery? That I actually do want to know. So cemetery isn't a word. Could call it Pet Tomb. Nah, it doesn't really have the same kind of... I mean, Pet Coffin is just kind of grim, and Pet Tomb is also just kind of grim. Yeah, I don't know. Too many P's for Pet Crypt. Yeah, Pet is okay. Tomb Pet. I have a pet gravestone. It's like a pet rock. It's just a gravestone with googly eyes. Fort Upstate. The farm up north. I'm just workshopping ideas here. Ghoulgrave? Where my goldfish went. Tomb Home was just the first thing that came to mind, but... Ghoul Farm, the farm, just... You know, maybe we should just call, like, the group, like, the local government name could just be the farm. Damn it. I want to call it Moral Panic. How about Tomb Halls? The thing is, there's that one other fort named Tomb Cage, and that's just like stuck in my head now. How about I wish coffin was a word. Cage! No, I mean, that sounds like a Doom mod. It just makes everything Nicolas Cage, right? Oops. Ghoul Cage is pretty good. Necro Hut. Casket Cage? Is that what you're thinking? Groove Cage. It's groovy, man. For Doomhammer! Yeah, pretty much. You can just, like, read that in a dwarf voice. How about Stop Bad? Stop Bad. Splatterhouse. That seems unique. I don't think anyone's ever done that one before. Empty Tombs, Bald Blood, Nicolas Cage. Clearly Owl House? Is that something? That sounds like it's something else for some reason. Actually... Might be onto something, Excalibur. The Titanic. Bad, the bad of bads. The baddest bad. Of battery. What do you think? Chicken fingers? What? Why chicken fingers? If I saw a finger, if I saw a chicken with fingers, I would be pretty terrified, though. Actually, could I just call it Ghost Cage? I could also just call it Ghost Bad. Angry Ghost. Ghost Daddy? Ghost Spike. Ghost Mountain? Is trap a word? Is P on my keyboard? Yes, it is. Soul Trap? Ghost Trap just sounds like Ghost Trick to me. Strong is a word. You could, in fact, name a fort Strong Bad, yes. You could absolutely do that. I kind of like Soul Trap. I don't know. Yeah, but what if we put it in the shell, though? Think about that, though. Suited. You know, we could actually call it Ghost Treat. Okay, screw it. We'll just go Halloween. We're gonna call it Ghost Treats. Cool. Cool is my new like synthwave solo performing artist name, by the way. Thanks for that. I mean, here's the thing: we could call it Ghost Treats of the soul. The Soul Trap of Ghouls. Double T is eh. The trap soul of clenching. I didn't even look at what it was. Was it the trap soul of clenching for a second there? Yeah, we've laughed about naming a fort Rimworld before, James Floyd. You can also name a fort Skyrim. There's a lot of video games you can name forts after. Let's put it that way. My brain just kind of shut off there for a second, but sounds like Ghost Streets. Okay, how about this? Ghostcandy. Mirror Wind would be. Done. Sell it. Ship it. We did it. Okay, Ghostcandy it is. We are Ghostcandy. What skills do the dwarves of Ghostcandy start off with? I'm gonna go find some animals. What are my options? What are my options? Okay, nothing interesting. Well, obvious, chat, it's Halloween, so I gotta make you guys happy once in a while. What is the most Halloween-y creature that you can think of? Because there's one obvious one. Well, we only have, like, yellow cats, but... Bats? Yeah, true, yeah. It's bats. Oh, there are no bats! I don't have bats as an option, unfortunately. Chat always wants me to bring cats, so we're bringing cats. What animals are terrifying? Llamas are pretty scary. Emus are also pretty scary, but they're not an option here. Turkeys are pretty... That's seasonal. That's seasonally appropriate. I'll bring some turkeys. Yeah. Why don't we bring some turkeys? Oopsies. No, I'm... Less gobblers, more hens. Yes. Correct. I can make goat skull totems and put them everywhere. If goats are an option. Also, I'm just going to bring 10 cats, because that's a lot of points. Yeah, but goats is Satan, those. Are there pumpkins to bring along? I doubt it. Yeah, no. I would have had to mod the game for that, probably. Burning maggot leather sounds like a good grab. Yeah, I suppose. So chat, if you guys want to come up with any other silly gimmicks. Although, we currently have Dragonfly Brain, which is already pretty terrifying. Candles? Candles don't exist in Dwarf Fort, at least not in vanilla. I need to use the restroom. I will be back in a moment. There you go, Overflow. Well, there's rock salt everywhere. Must use jet for all chairs and blocks. Here's the problem with that. I can't confirm or deny whether or not there's even jet on the map. So, I'm going to respectfully deny that. Bone industry could be fun. Like if like the majority of our, because also we don't know if it's a resurrect map, which it might be, right? We could say our only export has to be bone stuff. Can you make bone crossbows? I don't think I've ever made bone bolts for sure. Actually. The elves are gonna love that. You are presuming that there are elves that are not already at war at us, which there aren't. But it's fine. Don't worry about it. I briefly looked. So there's one dwarven faction, right? There's 2 existing elven factions, and when I was embarking, the elves were at war with us and the goblins were not. Unless I completely misread it, which I don't think I did, actually. I'm pretty sure I didn't. Export skulls, well, like totems, you know? Can bone them to the... Phrasing? Phrasing. I love the fact that all my starting wooden stuff is made of black cap. About fashioning, well, that's just decorating stuff, right? Gem-encrusted totems. I like the idea of just selling really fancy totems. Between iron and steel anvil. Steel anvil give dwarf happy thought when using. Like, you know how sometimes you'll see a dwarf that says they were interested near a fine item? It says like fine, like they get happy thoughts about being near a high value forge, basically. Like a gem encrusted steel anvil is even better. I don't know if there's a speed requirement. I know that adamantine anvils are lighter, so they can be moved around easier. It's quicker construction, but outside of that, I'm pretty sure it's just value. Like they get happy thoughts if they're close to them. I don't think they actually have any material benefit to like the speed or like construction, but I could be completely wrong. I know that they get happy thoughts because I've seen that. That's the only thing I have confirmation of. In order to make face masks, I would need to mod the game. But you know what the reality of this is, though? If we're committing to, like, bone industry and leather clothing, you know what's gonna end up happening? Is we're gonna have a lot of cat clothing. Because that is my fastest breeding livestock right now, is cats. Are we going to produce dwarven sugar? How does one make dwarven sugar? Because that's one of the things I always need to look up. Is it sweet pods? Dwarven furries. I don't think a furry would kill a cat and make a hat out of it unless it's a really demented furry, so. You know, fun fact, when I was younger, I had a raccoon skin cap, a genuine one. Years ago. Got it while camping. Up in Barkerville, actually. I kind of want to bring either llamas or goats. I'm leaning goats. Can you make goat cheese? I don't think I've ever like noticed if they've milked goats before, because I literally never, ever, ever bring goats. You can't bring, okay, for the umptillionth time, you can't bring pumpkins as dwarves. The only plants you can bring are the plants that dwarves can grow, which is underground crops. So that's not, unfortunately, going to be an option for us. Although I will say, let's not get too deep into mechanics, because don't expect this fort to last very long. So if we get super ambitious, we'll be disappointed. Just want to get ahead of you with that one. But goat is the most thematic like livestock I can bring, I think. So this is just going to be an image of a dwarf. The dwarf is screaming. The dwarf is sugar an option? No. Sweet, nope. Ooh, I could bring a sweet pod and say raising a sweet pod, because chat wants sugar. So sweet pod and raising. The dwarf is raising the sweet pod. You know what we could do? Could say no plump helmets. That could be fun. That could be fun. Gloves, thanks for the 15th month. Well, actually, sorry, not 15th month. 23rd month. I hate having 2 numbers on this. Wish it just gave me 1. Give me the total, Twitch, please. I don't know why. Okay, so in Twitch chat, it says 23 months on a 23-month streak. On Twitch's dashboard, it says 15 months at tier 2 for 23 months. Hey. Hey. I don't think I hit enter. Screen. I love how the first thing is ab-ended murder. Can we grow pumpkins? Chat, how many times do I need to repeat myself? Can I get a round of beers for that subscription, please? Thanks. Dwarf is stroking the cat. Oh, yeah, true. We could put a cat in it. That's not bad. It's not a bad idea. Oh, man, consuming isn't an option. I was going to say the cat is eating the dwarf. Devouring is an option. This got dark. But number 1, I don't think there are pumpkins on this map. Number 2, dwarves cannot embark with pumpkins. Number 3, I have not modded the game to allow dwarves to embark with pumpkins. I didn't plan that far ahead. My bad. So, short answer is no. Long answer is no. Other answer is if there happens to be squashes in the vicinity, and yeah, sure, theoretically, assuming the surface is accessible, because this is like an Untamed Wilds terrifying map. Remember that. There are probably going to be undead animals on the surface pretty quick. Okay, number 1, don't use the word knife ears in my chat. I will time you out if you do that repeatedly. Number 2, all humans are dead. Yeah. Literally all humans are dead. There are no human factions alive. It's goblins and there is elves that we're at war with and dwarves. Do undead dwarves get scared of ghosts? Presumably? I mean, they would withstand injuries from them. Also, there's no necromancers in this world, which I think is hysterical. I just don't like people using pretend slurs in my chat, that's all. Mercy, kitty. So, I'm feeling this. No plump helmets. No farming plump helmets. But I need to find something I can brew to start. Let's just type in plants. Nope, okay. Garden vegetables. Blueberries and strawberries. Could also start off with some quarry bushes. No and no. Connie. We've just gone with themed stuff. Cats, turkeys, goats. I'm not gonna bother bringing rock nuts. Gonna bring pigtail. Not gonna do anything with dimple cups. Let's increase these seeds. There are none available, no. There are no interesting animals available. It's just the normal... I think camels are the most exotic one, because sometimes they don't have those. But no, there's nothing strange. Sometimes they don't have camels, devilish, but now the question is, what skills do we bring? I'm kind of tempted to just start with like 7 weapon and armor smiths. And like maybe like 1 bone crafter. How about this? Let's do a gem cutter and setter and bone carver. Everybody gets some points in bone carving. And you can be a weaponsmith and bone carver and miner. You can have some points in mining, weaponsmithing, and bone carving. You can have some points in mining, in weaponsmithing, and bone carving. And we'll give you armor smithing. And mining. What would a camel be used for? They have a lot of meat. So you can raise them for meat. You can claim them as mounts in adventure mode. You can milk them, I think. Lots of leather, because they're large animals. Basically, if you want like a leather industry, they're useful. They're a good butcher crop, essentially. Growing fruit and baking treats. See, I was thinking more like building treats. Because I don't like selling food. I think you can milk camels? Hold on, I can actually confirm that. Yes, you can milk camels. Wait, hold on a second. Did I read that correctly? Okay, I have a question. I have camels as an option for embark, right? Why can I get giant camel milk? Where giant camel and why I don't have giant camel? I'm upset. I mean, a camel is basically a cow, so, like, how bad could it be? Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't go within, like, 100 meters of a camel. I think that this is just branded milk and it's a scam. Somebody's just, like, lying to us about this. All right, chat. We got our starting 7. We've got, more or less our items. I'll just bring some extra picks out of paranoia. Let's bring 5. Is there anything I should or shouldn't bring? I mean, I could bring a bunch of milk. We could do that. I haven't had milk outside of super fancy coffees on occasion in years, actually. Trick-or-treat bags. Dogs for hunting? Why would you want... Okay, in an Untamed Wilds biome that is possibly resurrecting with zombies already on the map, why would you want dogs for hunting? That seems like just make problem worse. That's the third dwarf to name. Gotcha. There's 3. That's fine. To forge your own tools embark, you kind of like it. I mean, here's the thing. We need to get underground real fucking fast. Because 1, it's untamed wilds. 2, it's terrifying, right? So yeah, I've done embarks like that. I've started with no tools, nothing. Like you just languor and be sad until the first trade caravan shows up after deconstructing the wagon and making a trade depot. Like, yeah, I've done embarks like that. No hunting. Well, actually, yeah, true. I don't need quivers. Will we get undead elephants? No, we're not in that kind of biome. Also, that side of it, it's the mountain that's terrifying, not the ground level. The ground level, I think, is just temperate forest. But there is giant crocodiles, or there was a giant gator in our test embark. So, yeah, there was giant gator. There was a snapping turtle. There was sponges, giant sponge, and sponge people. So, should be entertaining. It's like as much as like making all of your own tools, like that sort of stuff can be fun, but like the idea here is to just fucking get underground. If the concern wasn't get the fuck underground as much, yeah, sure. I mean, we did an embark not too long ago where it didn't start with an anvil. That was fun. It was like 1 pickaxe and no anvil. SpongeBob's race? Well, I don't know what SpongeBob is. So, maybe? Maybe not? Who knows? Yeah, we're gonna die of, like, goat coma again. Alright, well... I could just bring more goats. How about instead of cloth? We bring goat leather. Let's bring 20 of those. Let's go bag. Goat leather, bag, maybe. What? Goat leather bags. Instead of the pigtails. Why are they half the price? The heck? Telling me I've been ripped off by goat leather bags this whole time? Cage your dwarves' pets and put cages in their rooms. You're tired of pets? Yes. But if there's a pet outside and the pet that's outside is female, they can still mate through the cage. So just keep that in mind. But yes, you can absolutely do that. You can also just put all of the animals in your fort into an individual cage. But do it a couple at a time. Because if you do them all at once, it'll release them all from their... it'll unassign them from their pastures if they're assigned to pastures. So just be a little cautious with that. But yeah, you can put them all into one cage. I can just start without an anvil, if you guys want. But that might limit the ability to be able to trade, so... Or that might limit my ability to be able to grow because, of course, everything in cages continues to breed, yeah. So you'll just have babies in the cage. What's up, Budgie? Become some stupid sponge. I'll be honest with you, I can't imagine humans changing their mind, let alone evolving, so that's hard to imagine. There's some dwarf price fixing, you swear? Yeah, no, I don't disagree. Why don't I just bring, like, random veggies? Like, let's just bring some red spinach. Let's bring some, like, garden cress. Let's bring some more blueberries. Here's the thing. Someone said something about jet. Well, now we've got jet. Got 15 jet boulders. Coffins for decoration. You know, actually, we should do that. We should just, ironically, just put gravestones and coffins everywhere. All right, I think that's everything. We are the Fortress of Ghostcandy, okay? We are the Soul Trap of Ghouls, unless we can come up with something better, but that's fine. And our image is the Lancers of the symbol of our group is called the Crypts of Certainty. Sure, that's perfect. An image of a dwarf, a sweet pod, and a cat. The dwarf is raising the sweet pod. The dwarf is screaming. The cat is admiring the dwarf. The cat is devouring the dwarf, and the dwarf is dead. Ghouls gone wild. More like ghosts gone wild. The ghosts. Actually, let me workshop this for a second here. The ghosts gone isn't a word. Could I go? Yeah, the word gone doesn't exist, so sorry. Why don't we just call it the ghost trap? Let's just call it the ghost trap. I like shorter names. Okay, so we are Ghostcandy of the ghost trap of with that image. We have 7 dwarves. They all have bone skills, and if I can send it, 1 point remains. Oh, boo-hoo. You have arrived after journeying from the mountain homes into the forbidding wilderness beyond. Your party of 7 is to make an outpost for the glory of all Kivish Muzish. There is almost no supplies left, but with stout labor comes sustenance. Whether by bolt, plow, or hook, provide for your dwarves. You are expecting a supply caravan just before the winter entombs you, but it is spring now. Enough time to delve secure lodgings ere the dingoes get hungry. A new chapter of Dwarven history begins here, at this place. Ghostcandy. I should have called it Cat Trap, shouldn't I? Strike the Earth. Hey, chat, we have a Strike the Earth emote. You should post it if you have it. It's always been very funny. It says, okay. It's just that response is just funny. All right, let's see what we got. Okay, so no giant gator. But many of peach-faced lovebird. There's very little wood. And it's all down on the side here. There's also wood over on this side. It's a very flat plateau. Whew. Someone is telling me because why it's paused. It depends on what it was the last time you closed the game. We got native gold. That was embarking with this many animals was a mistake. There's peat. We don't have much in the way of dirt, so we have to farm in peat. I also have to almost immediately go down to the caves too, because otherwise my goats will starve. So one thing I am going to do is I'm just going to completely remove the cavern creatures in the difficulty options. I'm going to turn value up to hard. So we're going to go difficulty done, hard, economy, and then say cavern creature frequency null. Let's just get rid of them because I want animals. I want non-cavern creature threats. So could I make the river symmetrical? No, because I like asymmetry. And if you don't, that's okay. I do. All right, it's hide tutorials, right? Yeah, hide tutorials. So this is our world. We are right here. Does actually say that we have no contact with the elves, but as far as I know, we were at war with them, at least at one point. This is all goblin. There are no humans. It's all goblin. Everything goblin. Oops, all goblins. And there's a lot of them. Born Wraith. Wow, okay, that's a band name if I ever saw one. Genius Jackals. Venom Demons. We're trying hard with that one. Black Slit. Ew. It's festering. Looking for their fortress. Did they not? Where Goblin Fort? Oh, there it is. Stolen Shadow. Please no Steel Shadow. No, we are in the Age of Legends. Seduced Puppet. That's also a good name. Can trees save the world? You know, it's right down there in the middle. And then Hate Routed. They like the goblin town of yellow numbers. First the town, then the world, apparently. This would be an interesting world to try and make it into the Age of the Dwarf, you know? All right, let's just peer around at what we got. Just the alligator snapping turtles. So we need to tame alligator snapping turtles, right? That has to happen. But not in this playthrough, that's for sure. I'm debating on how I want to dig into the front. Because I could either just go like right in the side here, or we could just go straight down. I think we might just go straight down. I'm also slightly regretting that I moved it up. I kind of liked the map more when it was one to the left and one down, but oh well. How many squads would it take to take down 1,000 goblins? It depends highly on whether or not they have a demon. It's more like it would just take a really long time. All right, so I have 3 dwarves, I think, to name. Let's do that. I'm just opening up the list. Dwarf for names is Faint Speaker, Darius Cardin, and Dusk. Dusk, are you still here? Because if so, you can select. Which dwarf you want this? You've never been able to kill a demon in missions without their surrender? I have, but like it really depends because like they can just be redonkulously OP. Stone might actually remember the name of it, but there was that one... Obak? Okay. There was that one location once, a long time ago, that I had in a fort, where they would get attacked like 1,000 times a year. And every time they'd get attacked, they would, like, just completely annihilate whatever attacked them. And it was a demon overlord that would kill everything. Olbach is Dusk. All right, so you are the expedition leader. Your name is Bank Oils. You're going to bank all that oil. He finds a chaotic mess preferable to the boredom of harmonious living. Well, that checks out. That's why we brought so many cats, clearly. He is bashful, and he has a strong tendency towards privacy. He is pleased by his own appearance and talents, and he is quick to anger. He finds helping others to be emotionally rewarding, and he finds himself to be quite hopeful about the future. He finds obligations confining, though he is conflicted by this for more than one reason, and he blows out his breath when he's annoyed. He needs alcohol to get through the working day. He dreams of raising a family and does not particularly value the truth. Well, he's clearly lying about what this fort's for. Does not really value skills related to fighting. And he likes sterling silver and kunzite and amber and the color sepia, cavies for their 3 toes, I hate you, badgermen for their underground communities, and prickleberries for their precise thorns. And the words of the North Bridge, and when possible, he prefers to consume brown bullhead and maize beer. You're a member of the Ashen Doctrines, and you worship Vesh and Nekhol. which is, because this is a new world for me. The dust of skull. The what? Oh, okay. So you worship the god of death, which I'm pretty sure is a female dwarf who's a skeleton. I'm like mostly sure. So good for you. All right. Next derp, we got Darius is also still here, I think. Who would just not bury people? I mean, yeah, it fits. It does fit. Which dwarf you vanteth? But just for reference, today is more or less the, like, getting started session. Tomorrow is going to be the first actual day of this fort. Or the first long day, I guess, because today is going to be pretty short. Because I'm going to be watching my video premiere in a few hours here. It's noon right now, and that goes live at 2:30 p.m. So 4:30 Eastern, I think. 5:30 Eastern? 5:30 Eastern. Oh, you want Lolor? I thought that was a typo of lol. My bad. Sorry. I slept for 4.5 hours. Just give me a break today, okay? Thinks he's fairly important in the grand scheme of things, likes to keep things practical without delving too deeply into the abstract, and he isn't particularly curious about the world, is not inherently proud of his talents and accomplishments, and is often cheerful. He remains put off by deliberate merrymaking and often feels discouraged. Does not have a great aesthetic sensitivity, is conflicted by this for more than one reason. But he's conflicted by this as he values artwork and its creation, and when he's nervous, he has a habit of chewing his cheek, and he needs alcohol to get through the working day and likes working outdoors and only grumbles mildly at bad weather. Also, this fortress is being recorded, and I am going to try and make a video out of this. We'll see. Dreams of mastering a skill and personally respects the law, and sees merrymaking as a waste. He likes electrum, gold opal, and coconut palm wood. The color periwinkle, cabochons, and mink men for their long bodies. And the word of the Cyclopean meditation and the sound of the gem of silver and the sight of the scarlet emerald, and prefers to consume yak cheese and whip wine and grapes. Hates leeches. You're a member of the Cardinal Dominion and worship Takorethamequia. That's not a dwarven word. I don't think. The god of beauty, Wow. God of beauty popular here. Huh. And that's what killed a human faction, is because the goblins invaded them because they worshipped beauty. Which is kind of funny. Is there anything else about you? Nah, not just, that's about it. You're annoyed in the rain. Me too. Okay. Then the last one I have to name here is Faint Speaker, who I think is also still here. There's beauty and death. Sure. Sure. Definitely silence. You wanted Kib. The Cuddy Gem Boy. I was really hoping he often mumbles while he's thinking or something, because then Faint Speaker would check out. So he feels helping others is an imposition on his time and does not trust others. He lives an orderly life and is organized and neat. He lacks confidence in his abilities and has a tendency to consider ideas and abstractions over practical applications. He has little interest in joking around, and he is often nervous. Oh my god, you know what I should do? I should disable hauling. And just... Wait. Does hauling items count for loading minecarts? I don't think I've ever actually checked. We'll think about that one. He tends to hang on to grievances and likes a little excitement now and then. He scratches his head when he's thinking and he needs alcohol to get through the working day. Dreams of mastering a skill and personally has abandoned any attempt of self-control and finds the whole concept deeply offensive and doesn't particularly care about trash stewardship. Jeez. It turns out beauty is infectious. You're a member of the Fellowship of Laces. Do you also worship the god of beauty? Yes. Beauty is in fact infectious. You're also annoyed when caught in the rain. Proficient bone carver. Okay. That's a lot of cats. It's Halloween, okay? Fort's not going to live very long. Actually, the question is, does anybody here actually like cats? Do we have any cat dwarves? Because if they do, they're going to immediately claim all the cats. His eyes are gold. Ooh. Hemp fabric, the colored jade, shields, quivers, beds, bloated tubers for their stout shape. No, the cats claim dwarves who like cats. Cats have a unique mechanic there. Dwarves, like, you cannot assign cats as pets, and dwarves do not claim cats as pets. Dwarves become the cat's pet. They're like inverted. They're like pigs for their snorts. I like strawberry wine. Well, you're gonna be happy. Blue peafowls. Oh, also, no plump helmets in this embark. Just as a reminder, in case anybody forgot. No, that's not an aquifer just yet. Where's the aquifer at? I'm gonna go... Oh. I was kind of expecting to have hit an aquifer already. Can I see one over here, maybe? Okay, well, I can just dig. Question is how deep do I want to go? Let's go to, like, layer 40. Brought some extra picks. I'm going to immediately disable fishing, please. Custom detail 1. What? Did I just fat thumb a new work detail? Maybe I did. You go right here and go away. Doop, doop, doop. Doop, doop. And you grab the extra axe, because might as well. All right. Let's go beat the crap out of that ground. As everything runs away in fear. Terrified while in conflict. Well, that's a good sign. There's probably a giant snapping turtle, or just a snapping turtle attacking if I had to bet. I'm going to do a lower priority, dig out of this, and we'll pasture animals right here. Because I am a dwarf, Korab. I am a dwarf. So there's an alligator snapping turtle fighting with a giant peach-faced lovebird. I wonder who's winning. Oh, that peach-faced lovebird jumped away. Turtle slow. Rip turtle. Sorry, turtle. You had one job, turtle. You didn't do it. You missed. The whole idea there was don't miss. You know? The whole idea there was don't miss. But you missed. It's a shame, really. Also, the premiere is scheduled for my next video. So if you want to go wait for it, you can. I can pull up links if people need it. You have about 700 hours in Dwarf Fortress now, and you have been growing a beard. Any suggestions on rekindling the game? Oh, growing board, not a beard. I mean, here's the thing. I have no magic powers that can just be like, this is how you stop being bored of video game. Like, I genuinely, I don't think I can do that. What I can do is I can say, try and set unique goals. Try and make your runs different from one another, right? If you just do the same thing every time, you will inevitably get bored of the video game. That's how games work. I'm gonna go right here real quick and pasture animals. I don't know if I'm gonna bother pasturing the cats. Cats are kind of a pain to pasture. What are the vines things? These? These are root vines, like roots. The game has roots. You also can see them in ASCII too. They look like little percent symbols. It's a lot of badgers. It's also river otters. But I don't know. I mean, for me, I just try and make sure that I don't do the same thing twice. I think one of the biggest pitfalls that a lot of people ask me about that it seems like other people tend to run into is a lot of people seem to fall into the trap of trying to have a build or a play style or a thing that they do. And I find that to be a really bad idea, because if you're just doing a play style or a thing, what's going to end up happening is you'll just do literally the same thing every time. And I try to avoid that kind of at all costs. An old champion? Like a champion from a previous one of your forts? So that's pretty cool. Trying to get this wagon unloaded. Oopsies. I mean, like, the classic one is take a break, right? You know, like, I don't think any game should just be played endlessly for all eternity. And I think a lot of people tend to try and do that for a multitude of reasons. God, I love the new barrels. With the items in them, they just look so cool. Yeah, this may actually be a big enough stockpile, too. Monster hunting? There you go. There's going to be so many dead, random little critters everywhere. There's a toad over there. Just wanted to point that out. It's very important. The active existence of a toad. All right, so I'm going to just hack some of these down real quick. Actually, nope. No, I'm not. I'm going to put holes in my roof if I do that. So I'm actually going to go over here, and I'm going to hack like one or two of these down. It's cherry, pecan, persimmon, peach, bayberry, pecan. Let's go with 2 pecan trees. Oh, come on. Don't make me pecan these trees. I like the color of pecan trees, okay? My 2 woodcutters run off. Largely the work of one guy? These days it's more than one person. But traditionally, yes. And also that one guy just moved to a new continent and also just got married. So give Tarn a little bit of slack right now. And also, I will say, updates, at least for, this is maybe just my perspective, updates for Dwarf Fortress have been coming out way faster than they have traditionally. Like, updates for Dwarf Fortress releasing, like, more than once a month is kind of massively fast. And I think a lot of people are not considering it fast because it's just adding old features back into adventure mode. But the fact that the game has actually been patching in the beta branch more than once a month, most months, is like the fastest Dwarf Fortress development has ever been. So, like, I don't know.
Stupid cheered. X101.
I guess it's all relative, right? Hi, Stupid, thanks for the $1 and penny. Appreciate you. Hope you're doing well. Will I be making a pumpkin fort? No, because there are no pumpkins on this map, and dwarves can't embark with pumpkins. So no. No, I will not. And I'm not using that mod that Krug Smash uses. Because I don't really do that. So. Just plop a meeting zone right there. Partially and also mostly because I don't like doing the exact same things Krug Smash does. Fun fact, did you know that Dwarf Fortress was part of the reason that Steam changed their rules and now you cannot just, like, put words as your release date? Dwarf Fortress was one of the catalysts on that, and I think that that's really funny. New goal rejected and consider it ignored. No offense, but I have absolutely no interest in doing that. There you go. Okay, so this is still aquifer layer. It was a terms of service change from a little bit ago now. And the actual logical reason is they don't auto-translate into other languages. That's the actual reasoning behind it, which I think is kind of funny. But I'm happy that they did that. Now you can just write coming soon, because that does auto-translate into other languages. Yeah, it does make sense when you think about it in the, like, oh, you can't translate it. It's like, oh, right, well, duh. I'm just gonna real quick make a carpenter shop up here. Actually, no, let's make a... masonry shop, maybe? Just a stoneworkers? I still call them mason shop, even though they're not called that. Can you petition for mass grave? I don't know what that means. You're gonna have to, like, elaborate a little bit more. Like, are you saying put bodies on pedestals or something stupid like that? Hatch cover. We're gonna use jet. And one set of jet blocks. Body pit. I'd rather not just use a body pit because then they'd all probably end up just stacking one on top of each other, and I don't really want dwarves running in and out. Here's the thing that I think a lot of you are maybe not quite realizing, which is fair. If you've never built a fort like this where you don't memorialize anything, we're going to accelerate. Okay, so when dwarves start dying, this fort's, like, amount of time left is going to be numbered in months. Like, do not underestimate the destructive power of ghosts. Like, that's, I think that, like, sure, we can just leave bodies around, but as soon as dwarves start dying, this is going to accelerate very quickly. Oh, I need to wait for the blocks to get hauled in. Can ghosts kill? Here, just for everybody who is uninitiated. I'm going to go to the Dwarf Fortress wiki. Ghost. These are all of the different personality types that ghosts can have. Murderous haunts. They murder. Murderous haunt. Here, I'll just. Murderous ghosts. If a dwarf had a fell mood, had low altruism, or a slab or grave was deconstructed, they murder dwarves. Sadistic ghosts. If they had a macabre mood or low altruism, basically upset. Batters, scares, paralyzes, and they're capable of scaring a dwarf to death. Violent ghosts went berserk or had high anger. Batters, dwarves are often but not always removing limbs. Moaning spirit. When a dwarf was melancholic or was depressed, troubles one unfortunate dwarf. So they follow them around and piss them off, raising their altruism. Howling spirit, they make sleeping hard, which pisses dwarf off if the ghosts start raving mad or blah, blah, blah. Angry ghosts were possessed. Will possess dwarves, causing them to throw tantrums and may be capable of battering dwarves if they were possessed at some point or died while possessed. Energetic poltergeist was in a fey mood or had high activity level. They topple furniture, such as chairs. Secretive ghosts. If a dwarf was secretive mood or had high bashful stats, they misplace items. Troublesome poltergeists have had high immoderation. They misplace items, steal stuff, etc. If a dwarf was gregarious or had high dutifulness or never completed any jobs, then they become restless haunts. Basically, didn't complete an artifact. And drifts around the place of death and frequented locations, and also haunts dwarves, causing unhappy thoughts. And Forlorn Haunt did not satisfy any of the active checks, and drifts around the place and frequented locations. They steal items, yeah. They unexist items. They're basically Kias. So yeah, if you've never played with a ton of ghosts on your map, abso-fucking-lutely they can kill your dwarves, and they abso-fucking-lutely will kill your dwarves. That's what you need to know about ghosts. This fort, as soon as people start dying, is going to accelerate. Because if you just let, like, 3 or 4 dwarves just kind of chill as ghosts, they start scaring dwarves, which lowers altruism, right? Which stresses them out. So it's like, it's an accelerating curve that veers up fast. And, you know, that's what we're heading towards. What do you mean, Shadow? I don't know what that means. As a learning opportunity for what? It's certainly going to be a learning opportunity for chat. I think everybody's underground. All right, let's go. I think auto slab exists in DF hack, Rockbeard. But I don't know. I like remembering to make slabs because I'm weird. Does every dead dwarf lead? I think you said that backwards, Dimwit. If you don't memorialize a dwarf, it's just an inevitable amount of time before they come back. Is this an evil biome? Yes. Although we don't know how evil. It's also Untamed Wilds, and there's a lot of Untamed Wild creatures on the map right now. Oh, shit, on pause. But yeah, the mountain area in the middle, which is all of this, where nothing is growing, is terrifying, supposedly. Because there's so many other creatures on the map right now, you know, we're limited. Trying to see where this aquifer ends. No zombies, though? Not yet. We may have fucked up and settled somewhere where we're not going to get any, but hopefully not. All right, so we are mostly through the aquifer, it seems. The thing is, there's only so many creatures that can be on the map at any given time. The game has, like, limits for that. So that includes, like, zombies, right? And we're pretty much at cap right now. Although often Untamed Wilds biomes do that. Could we get zombies and ghosts? That's possible, yes. I don't know if it's a resurrecting biome. We'll have to kill a cat to find out. You had one where it rained poo? Was it like waste or whatever? Cat, can you fucking stop being a cat for a second, please? God damn it. Stupid cat. There we go. Okay. Filth, got it. Grime and filth. I've had maps where it rains blood. I've had maps where it rains vomit. Noxious ooze is maybe the worst one that I've had, because the particular noxious ooze, the last time I had noxious ooze, made all dwarves permanently dizzy, which made them move half speed and be utterly useless in combat. It sucked. It was awful. All right, we've made it through the aquifer. Does that mean you fits? Slide blue. Okay. So. The analysis paralysis begins. Is there a reason I'm using priority 2 mining? Because I set it to priority 2 so that they would dig out this area first, and I haven't changed it yet. Yeah, that's about it. I find that I have a dumb idea. Not really a dumb idea, but I find that they tend to prioritize things like crafting over mining if you use lower than 3 priority. So I tend to leave it at like 3 or 2 anyway. It's the catch in this embark. That's the catch. Did the 500 fort ever make it to 500? No, but it's just on pause. It's not done yet. Let's see if we're actually through the aquifer. I was going to say, I'm impressed by how few boulders I've found. It's like, what the hell? You have a hard time understanding what's going on? Any tips? Play it more. Tips are difficult in Dwarf Fort because I don't know what you know. So my tip would be ask questions when you find stuff that's confusing. I have a room on my Discord called DF Questions. There's also the Kitfox Discord, which also has Dwarf Fortress related stuff in it. I would recommend just following those and follow them to the best of your ability. Follow those Discords to the best of your ability and ask questions from people who play this game a lot. Because I used to describe the community of Dwarf Fortress as anti-gatekeepy. And the reason I called it that was, like, if you showed even a remote interest in wanting to play Dwarf Fortress, then immediately you'd just get mauled by people saying, here's 30 different tutorials and ways to learn to play, and here's why this game is the best game ever made, and here's how I can help you learn to play. And like, people just get very excited about people being interested in Dwarf Fortress. So that's still the case, largely. Yeah, that or just find a live stream, and ask questions there, because somebody will know what they're doing. And that's the best thing that you can do if you are interested in Dwarf Fort. All right, so I need to get down. I need to get down to at least the first cavern layer. Well, I need to get down to the first cavern layer. Otherwise, my livestock gonna starve to death, which I would like to breed my goats, so that's not really a viable option here. The reason I would have advised against that, at least initially, Dimwit, is you want to learn the game. You don't want to learn DF hack, right? Like, learn the game without DF hack. That's also something I'll say. Because then you'll learn why DF hack can be useful. And you'll also learn where you do and do not want to use it. Because there are places that you may or may not want to use it that certain people might use that way, And if somebody is saying, this is the only way to do it, or the game is unplayable without that, you might not feel that way. At least in my case, I get very frustrated when a lot of mechanics that I enjoy messing around with are completely negated in their value by people who say that, oh, that mechanic isn't necessary. It's like, well, what if I like that mechanic? What if I like that thing that you find annoying? But, you do you. My advice isn't always perfect. Find the Kitfox Discord a little too chaotic. Yeah, it's pretty zoomer. I mean, I don't talk in there much. It's a bit busy for me. I occasionally answer questions, though. Let's see how my dwarves are doing off the bat. I'm kind of tempted to... Oh, shit, you got a new romance. Reg and Dusk are now together. Oh, I love Reg. Personally values harmonious existence. Does anybody remember when the game considered the starting 7 dwarves to all be siblings? And then they flipped the switch at some point where now they can get married? I don't remember. I don't know when that changed, but... The game used to consider them all to be related, at least at one point. Click pause, click play. It won't play an ad if you are not subscribed to the stream, Excalibur, and it'll fix it immediately. Yes, all animals do definitely inbreed real badly in Dwarfort. Thankfully, Dwarven genetics ain't a thing. Or animal genetics isn't really a thing, so you don't get deformities. I'm trying to find a better place for like a central stairway. Because I don't really like this spot. I dug here because it was close. I kind of want to get a little closer to the waterfall, basically, is kind of where I'm headed. There's a lot of iron further down. But... I don't understand why generational fort that is something about the Dwarf Fortress audience that I will never really understand. I don't understand why people like or are interested in running a multi-generation fort. Having built them, they are the least interesting way to play the game. Purely because of how like exhaustingly boring they are. Like, you want to play Dwarf Fortress as an idle game? That's a generational fort. And I guess some people want to play Dwarf Fort as an idle game. I don't. We're about to get hit by an ad break, by the way, so I will pause game when we hit ad. Part of DF is resource management. You prefer automating fishing, logging, and clothing. See, to me, automating that stuff is removing the gameplay of the resource management. Like, that's my issue. Like, I'm no longer managing resources. It absolutely is. Excalibur. 1000% it is. Oh, that's stairs, not dig. I am in an ad break, so I will leave the game paused until the ad break is done. Oh, okay. I was reading quickly. My bad, Stealth. But I will just state that to me, like, if you're automating the game with DF hack, then you're not playing a chunk of the game. Like, the reason those automation tools exist was because some people didn't like the... How do I word this? Supposed dumbing down, maybe, or overcomplicating things. Like, I know some people who to this day still disable stress with DF hack because like they started playing in 2012 before this current stress system was in, and they don't like it. Still, right? Like, that's why a lot of those tools exist, is because people didn't like that the thing was added to game, so they wanted it gone. Are you in an ad, probably? Alan, RimWorld is a very good strategy tower defense game with very light storytelling elements. Dwarf Fortress is a world simulation game that has a colony builder and an RPG in it. I think the only actual similarity is that RimWorld likes to reference Dwarf Fortress a lot, and they both have colony builders in them. But like the actual like minute-to-minute gameplay is completely different. So like, is there a reason to play RimWorld? Absolutely, but it's a very different video game, and I think like that's the kind of the important thing to remember. RimWorld is much more moddable, so like the mods can make it really cool. I think as a strategy game, I personally find it very frustrating and hard to play for long periods these days, to the point where I just don't play it anymore. But like, if you want the world sim, it's not gonna scratch that itch. If you want like random numbers presented as a storyteller, sure. I mean, I could see it. I could see why people would feel that way. I think like the people who feel that RimWorld is a good story generator haven't played much Dwarf Fortress. And their only idea of what is a good story is violence! Because it's good at that. And it does that really well. It does violence and suffering pretty well. And the worlds aren't persistent, right? That's the biggest killer for me, is the lack of persistence in the worlds. But hey, you know, if you want like a kind of a science fiction-y violence game, it's good for that. Yeah, actually, yeah, you know, I actually kind of agree with that. Or actually, I don't know if this is necessarily what you're saying. I think like as far as story generation goes, I think that XCOM is actually a better analog for the way it does. Because like XCOM is absolutely a story generator, right? Like you can, if you name your heroes and like ignore like the main quest story, which isn't really that complicated. Aliens invade, blur. If you like just name your soldiers, you can absolutely get story generation out of XCOM. Absolutely. You'd really like a sci-fi world simulator like DF? Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Ooh, is that cool? Oh, that's cool. Goddamn. I was excited for a second there. I don't like, nothing really is to the same level as Dwarf Fortress, right? Like there's games that scratch similar itches, you know, like there's Kenshi, there's Star Sector. You know, there's stuff that does similar-ish things, but nothing. You know, I'll bet you like if you mod Free Space the right way, you might, or like play one of those open source variants and modded versions of like the original Elite, you could probably get a similar feeling to like a sci-fi simulated world, but you like playing XCOM, but when the difficulty jumps, you get lost? Yeah. It's certainly like a skill, like a game that you learn for sure. All right, we found the first cavern layer. Which one is it? Ooh, damn, this is deep. I didn't change any cavern settings either, so this is all like default settings. No, XCOM is a deliberately mean game. I would actually say that that's a lot harder to do now, Vakrak, purely because of the amount of art needed. Like, one of the curses of this game not being purely curses anymore, is the fact that for a lot of people, to be able to enjoy Dwarf Fortress, it needs a lot of artwork. So in order for a lot of mods like that to work, they need a lot of artwork. Also quartzite, that's fun. This is a dope cavern. Toss a scouting cat. I mean, you know, that's not actually a bad idea. Hey, chat, all in favor of throwing a cat into the caves? Man, an Eternal Enigma sub. He's a cool dude to run into at conventions. I hate to break it to you, I think you're outvoted though. Suited. Chuck one of the boy cats. Get in there, kidders. Of course, Dusk is the one getting to do the honors. He has to catch it first. That's gonna be the hard part. Wow, that was quick. Splat. All right. Bonesaw. Also a Maple Crusade. Thank you very much for that brand new Prime subscription. Bonesaw, what kind of dwarf do you want? I'm gonna cheat. I don't feel bad, but I do actually feel bad. All right, kitty. Best of luck there, bud. Go explore the caves for me, please. Begone! I healed you. Now go explore. Or don't. I have a question. Do you actually have a problem with, like, vermins, like, eating through your supplies? Because I don't think I've ever noticed that, like, an effect that they've had. Positive or negative. Now I can only heal him so much. I'm just gonna use rock salt for this. And I'm gonna dig up this one. Tolas, thanks for the tier 2 for 37th month. Cat is not in the pen. Also, why would I neuter the cats? Why are you telling me what to do, boss? Who are you? My mom? I don't think so. YouTube chat wants to tell me what to do. My response is, well, I mean, sure, you can tell me what to do. I will tell you why I'm not going to do that. We're not going to neuter the cats because this fort's going to die young anyway. 2, as soon as dwarves start dying, I can't memorialize any of them. So I'm doing things in this fort that I wouldn't normally do just for the lulz. No. Genuinely. No. Is there a limit to how many dwarves you can name over the course of multiple streams? You reached your limit, but you haven't named one for weeks. It's because every time you try to... Also, 1, that's not true, Havoc. You named one, like, last week. And 2, if you miss it when they just get redeemed, it'll say that it's reached their limit. There isn't a limit to the number a user can redeem, but there's one every 45 minutes. So if it's not up, you miss it. Also, sometimes your browser, like, just fucks up and goes, it's not up. And I couldn't tell you why. So, no, it's just limited to once every X number of minutes. And if it's refusing to, like, redeem for you, then I fucking can't help you. I'm not Twitch support. Go to Twitch support. The system sucks. I hate it too, but it is what it is. Get that dwarf in a neutral mood. You want this? No, you can't, because they is named. So who is do you want his? You'll take Doran. Okay. Doran going digging. She is very comfortable around others that are different from herself. She dislikes helping others and rarely feels strong cravings or urges and is moved by art and natural beauty. She is troubled by this since she dislikes the natural world. She takes offered help and gifts without feeling particularly grateful. She is somewhat fearful in the face of imminent danger, tries to do things correctly each time, and does not often feel lustful, prefers to present herself modestly, and tends to be passive in discussions. She tends to be a little wasteful when working on projects, and she is quite ambitious. She tends to avoid any physical confrontations and works to spread his natural tendency with her respective martial prowess. And she generally acts with a narrow focus on the current activity. She isn't particularly curious about the world, and she is a friendly individual, and she tends to assume that the worst of two outcomes will be the one that comes to pass. She always scratches her head when she's trying to remember something, holds her breath when she's nervous, and laughs loudly when she's surprised. She dreams of raising a family and personally sees life as unfair and doesn't mind it that way, and finds the ideas of independence and freedom somewhat foolish. Thanks for the 99 pennies. You're stupid. How was time off? I didn't take a single second off. I edited most of Friday. I took the morning off on Saturday and made pickles and then edited most of Saturday. Then I edited all day Sunday and then went to the pub in the evening because I was mad and wrote a blog post. And then I edited literally all day Monday from like dawn till dusk with a very brief break. Sunday evening I also went to my parents' house. So I edited all morning, went to my parents' house, did some stuff for them, and then went to the pub, wrote a blog post. And then all day Monday I edited and all day Tuesday I edited. So how's my time off? I didn't take any. I edited for 14 hours yesterday. So, none. How did the pickles come out? The first batch came out quite well. I've been eating them on my sandwiches. Percy sees life as unfair and doesn't know that I was reading that already. Likes obsidian, silver, precious fire opal, dog leather, alpaca wool, and the color turquoise. 6-sided prisms, maces, and flasks, and rabbits for their ability to burrow. And the sound of the gem of silver, when possible, prefers to consume amaranth beer and absolutely hates leeches. I'm also gonna... Ooh. Yes. It begins. Sweet and spicy. And then dill beans are the 2 batches I made.
Crypt beer.
Might be Goose, thank you very much for the 7th month with Prime. Welcome back. All right, so Bonesaw. I didn't actually name your dwarf Bonesaw. Bonesaw. You also worship that god of beauty. You're a member of the Order of Brides. You're also a dabbling fisher dwarf. Satisfied at work? You've had a pretty decent time of it so far. You were annoyed after having a drink without using a goblet, cup, or mug. And you were annoyed at the lack of chairs. Fair annoyance, I would say. Isn't that our second leech hater? Did the first one dislike leeches? I'll be honest, I read that part and instantly forget it. I don't really care. I don't pay too much attention to these. The ones I care about are the traits and values. Those are the ones I put some effort into memorizing and remembering. These ones, not at all. But wouldn't surprise me too much. I also hate leeches. As a disliker of leeches, I support this notion. Also, this is now getting moss growing on it, so my animals won't die, which is good. So they're probably working on these steps. Yep, there we go. That's what I was looking for. And right here, let's do 2 rock salt. See, I like liches. I hate leeches, though. In this industry, you don't get a vacation. But no, that was just my normal working weekend. And because I was editing a video, which is going up in an hour and a half. You know. You don't get time off when you're editing videos, basically. Is this... more cobalt. Whenever I see cobaltite, I just get fucking debated into thinking it's not cobaltite. Whoa! I threw 1 cat. Sorry, I realize this is a really outdated reference, but where the fuck did the other cat come from? I guess they are legendary climbers. Must have just climbed down to it. Well, I guess we're gonna have, like, an independent cat colony in the basement now. No, it was a male cat I threw in. It must have just climbed down. It has to have. Yeah, it could have climbed down this wall. This is funny. I'm a big fan of this, actually. No, it's his girlfriend, actually, not his bro. It's that I was thinking about making the 2-cat meme, but, you know. I am that old, yes. All right. Well, great. There's a breeding pair of cats in the caverns. I love this. This is perfect. I wouldn't have it any other way. I don't know about you guys. 3 days? I think this fortress is just going to be a pile of cats by the end of it. Nothing wrong will come from this. I mean, it's okay. This fort is already this fort is doomed to end badly, so if we can make it worse while we're at it, why not? You also have a lover already. You know, one of the biggest corporate lies, Chris, is find a job that you enjoy doing and you'll never work a day in your life. Because I counterpoint, it doesn't matter how much you love your job, some days you fucking hate it. I love my job, some days I fucking hate it. Oh, it's a corporate lie. It's a corporate lie. I don't care if it's a Mark Twain quote. Mark Twain was fucking wrong, man. That is an almost invisible jade cluster. But no, it's an absolute lie. Forgotten Beast versus 39 cats. I would watch that fight. I think the Beast would win, though. What am I looking for? Well, I'm building a layout for a fortress. What am I looking for? Dwarves, I think. What are you looking for?
This is madness!
Madness?
This is stone hobo.
Yeet. I don't know if it's you. Probably not, actually. Okay, so I need to make a storage room. I don't know if I want it to be that one with the stairs by it. Probably behind that. I'm thinking most likely up here somewhere. Which is where I'm going to start putting boulders. There's also buttload of magnetite right here. Which is what, like 2 layers, 3 layers down? Same with over there. So I'm going to need to be pulling stuff from at the very least there. Probably over to here somewhere. So why don't we get like a storage run right here? You know what problem I have with almost anything Pirate Software says, especially if he's talking about like work-life balance and whatnot. When you have unlimited fucking money, it's really, really easy to say a lot of things. It's really easy for me right now to talk about like happiness and like self-discovery and stuff because I'm financially stable. Before I was financially stable, fucking impossible. None of that shit was true, right? So there are some things I would listen to Thor's takes on. There's some things I wouldn't. I wouldn't listen to anything work-life balance from that guy. Even if he has potentially valid takes, it's not going to be relevant for the vast majority of people. Even if it's a legitimate take, because it's a legitimate take for somebody in his position, right? Doesn't mean you can't think about it. Thought I was looking for a particular mineral. Oh no, I spotted a pink jade cluster, which is a gem, which was quite well hidden. So I guess in that regard, yeah, I guess I spotted a mineral, but I wasn't looking for one in particular. Thor sleeps 4 to 5 hours a night? That's not healthy. All right. Almost looks like an alien. I have to ruin it, make it asymmetrical to annoy chat. I will say this. Bezos believes in what makes him money. It's the only thing Bezos believes. That's it. Stewie in a car seat from Family Guy? It is actually off-center. I'll be honest with you. I try to ignore just about everything that billionaires say because anything a billionaire says isn't relevant to the vast majority of people. Once again, if you want to seek advice from people that are in similar positions as you. Because they're actually capable of giving you advice. Or someone who was in a similar position to you and then got out of it. And I'll be completely blunt with you guys. I don't watch Pirate Software at all. I've seen the occasional short that pops up in the feed, and it's like, huh, that's a take. Okay. I find his audio to be kind of awful. I know a lot of people like it, but it's just very blown out and sounds bad to me. So I genuinely find his videos kind of hard to watch. And I completely disagree with his takes on stop killing games. Fucking kill games. I do not like live service nightmares and server-sided games. So, very much disagree with a lot of his takes in that regard. I don't know. I don't want to turn this into a, let's talk smack about Thor stream, because that's probably bad for my health. Just take a month's tour on your yacht with your 5 girlfriends. Oy vey. Something Hollywood. So, I said I would make this fort dangerous. What I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm going to smooth the outside of this circle. Yeah? And then I'm going to channel it down 1 layer. Okay? Once I've done both of those things, the lower layer is going to be where we're crafting. Okay? We're going to bring boulders up in here using minecarts. Okay? And the way the boulders are going to get down into the crafting area is by falling a layer. Let the danger begin. Yeah, but I don't like starting shit for no reason. Like I said, I also genuinely have no takes on whether or not he's a good person because I don't watch his stuff. I just find his audio to be bad. All right. It's raining boulders. Mm-hmm. Let's just plunk this down right here for now. And queue up like 5 mine carts. I'm also going to go up to here. I'm going to start farming. So we're going to need that. Oh, you said lore. Sorry, my bad. Completely misread. It's hard for me to read anyways, and when I'm tired, I read even worse. I just read through the typo. Yeah, I mean, I've got nothing against the guy. I just don't watch it. That's all. He did raid me once, which is the weirdest part. Because when Dwarf Fortress was blowing up, Pirate Software raided me once, but it was before he'd blown up like crazy. So, it's a little bit odd. Like, my only real, like, acknowledgement and knowledge of him was when he had, like, 300 concurrent or something. None of this, like, 20,000 nonsense. Ordith, thanks for the 21st month. Welcome back. Appreciate you. Lore, are we talking about like lore Bibles? Is that what we're talking about, Ilmarin? But that's here's the thing, Chris, though. I know that you're talking about like internet educators. A lot of people who become educators on the internet is because they get lucky, not because they're skilled educators. Which is actually kind of an issue with like YouTube and content creation just as a medium, is a lot of people end up in positions of teaching people skills that they have no business teaching, right? It's the reason I'm refusing to become a Linux channel. I've got a couple people right now that are pestering me to make a lot of Linux videos. It's like, no, I'm just gonna make the occasional update video maybe once a year now. Because I know fuck all about Linux. And I have no business talking about it like as a person with any position of authority. But what ends up happening is you'll have somebody who goes viral for some reason, and they spin that into education. It's actually quite common. Bob, thanks for the 10th month. Welcome back. Appreciate you, mate. You are not wrong. Lore was, in fact, Data's evil twin. Thanks for reminding me of that storyline's existence. I'd completely forgotten. Like, you need to remember that the vast majority of, like, tech channels on YouTube, right, started because some guy reviewed a laptop or, like, filmed himself opening up a motherboard box. You know, and some of these people were educated in the field going in, and some weren't. You know, some people became educators because they started making a series learning a thing, right? Like, my initial Dwarf Fortress streams were called Learning Dwarf Fortress because it was me properly sitting down and actually learning the game instead of, like, just putzing around in it and, like, being bad at it for a very long time, right? And now I teach people to play this game, right? Another example of this was, like, Quill18 had a programming channel where he was learning to program initially. And then it kind of morphed into teaching people to program. And then he stopped doing it a long time ago. Oh, certainly, but I shouldn't be talking about things like I'm, like, versed in things. Just because I can, like, fuck some things together and make it work, pig my ear, doesn't mean that I'm an expert. That's a funny way of putting it, Stefan. Oh, sure, dimwit. Certainly. How did I generate 1,000 years of world? Go into advanced world gen and set the end year to be 1,000, and then set percentage for, or a year for stoppage checking, or whatever the one right above that is, to 1,000. And then tweak your settings to your personal needs and desires. I've definitely looked into it further, Shake. I just didn't discuss it further. You don't need to tell me to look into something further just because I didn't talk about it further than a, brief statement. Right? That's the thing that you need to learn about people on the internet, is just because I didn't discuss in depth doesn't mean I'm not educated on subject. That's hysterical, Alan, if that's not sarcasm. Oh, cool, dimwit. Hopefully the process has been easy. I'll stick to teaching people how to do things that are, not life critical, like play video games slightly better. I was suggesting ads. I uninstalled, well, not uninstalled. I installed a different... Why are you hungry? I installed a separate alternative start menu when Windows started doing that. 1,000 is the year the world gen ended on. That's why we're on the year 1,000. If you go to the beginning of the VOD, you can watch it from the start and see how I do that. No. And also, different Linus Newfie Edge, but I've met Linus Tech Tips. Speaking of people on the internet that exist that I don't particularly care about. Already threw a cat into the caverns.
Connie of the Wolves cheered. X100. Hey scholarly dwarf. How'd I preform a brain? I go to sugary in 1R.
What? Thank you very much for the $1. Appreciate you. Sweet buds, pigtails, and sweet pods. No plump helmets. Yeah, I have no idea what those words in that order meant. I don't think there's any dragons in this world, actually. The weird part about this world is that there's no necromancers. Somehow. Fucking somehow there's no necromancers, which is wild to me. Okay, so I'm just gonna go to labor, kitchen menu. Please don't cook my booze, you fucks. Don't cook the strawberries. Don't cook the blueberries. Yeah, that's accurate. And I'm just gonna jump over to here. I'm just gonna plop a still. Who's going to give the next smooches that they deserve? Nobody in this world, because the goblins won so fast that nobody else had time to go find them, and it's usually the humans that start distributing those. And the humans just got eviscerated right at the very beginning of World Gen, up here and then up here. But yeah, there isn't a single necromancer tower in this world, unless I'm just not seeing one. There might be necromancers, but yeah, it's fun. You mean World Gen, Havoc? What settings are you referring to? Because you can save your World Gen settings in Advanced World Gen. You can also save Embark profiles. So save them If that's what you're talking about. If you're talking about like advanced world gen settings, you just save them. Click the save button. And if you need to reset them, you can just go grab them from the wiki or just delete them in the in-game files. Kitchen settings? No. I mean, it's 5 clicks. I don't know. I don't start new embarks that frequently, so it doesn't really bother me. But yeah, it should. It should save those. Because sometimes I don't want to do things the same way. But yeah, it's pretty likely that they just got killed off. I find it very hard to believe that I'm already out of blueberries. No, okay, we might just have, no, we do have empty containers. Is that real? There's no way all my blueberries are rotten. Oh, are they all stuck with bags? Is that what's going on? Huh. All right, well. Let's go to here. The area up top is an island? Yeah, it is an island. Wait, really? Unless they fix that bug? My current assumption is they're just in a bag underneath a barrel. Or at the bottom of a barrel, because items can't be taken out of a barrel out of order. But... actually, no, that's not what I wanted. Blue, which is what I should type in. Because, like... yeah, I think probably what needs to happen here is let's just do this. Let me just make a... or let me just try this, rather. You might not be wrong, actually. Fruits and leaves. Fruits and leaves. Okay, go here. Food. Fruits and leaves. Go here. Remove barrel. See if that happens. It might just be this. Or this. Local brought. It's Halloween. This is a Halloween fort. Cats are spooky. That was all of the logic to it. I love when people say this something should happen all the time in Dwarf Fort Dimwit, because the answer is always the same. Sometimes. Does a thing do this? Sometimes. Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think you are right. That's fascinating. Easy enough, though. Add that to the list of things I didn't know were a thing. When you're trying to do a fort with only above ground farming? Got it. It might also, like, be one of those weird things where it's an oddity, but not necessarily a bug. Because there's kind of a lot's the wrong word. There's a lot of mechanics in Dwarf Fortress that, like, are very easily mistaken as bugs. Like, a lot of people talk about bins being bugged. It's like they're not. They're supposed to be a pain to get items out of. Which is why I make all my bins out of metal. Or try to, anyway. So if I want to get items out of a bin, I just, melt the bin. It's pretty simple and straightforward, to be honest. All right, well... horses, okay, horses were just brought by default. That's the first thing. The cats are spooky. We have goats and we have turkeys. The horses were brought by the wagon. Like, they pulled the wagon. Also, all the interesting animals left and all we have left are giant wrens. All right. I'm like kind of worried that this biome's gonna end up being boring, but I guess what I should do is just butcher something, right? So what I'm gonna do here is we are going to begin probably just making some beds. I'm gonna make a little dorm, and I'm also going to do this. Channel both sides of this. What is this? Casserate. Oh, that's neat. We got tin. Turkeys are spooky. Have you ever seen a turkey? I mean, like, these things are terrifying. It's like a goose with, like, no intelligence stats. Delicious. I mean, they do look kind of delicious. Here's the thing. It depends on who's cooking them. I've had some pretty bad turkeys before. There we go. And then, yeah. It's 3 and 3. Yeah, that'll be plenty, actually. We'll just do it this way. And then this can go away here. Sweet. That'll work for right now. Just gotta wait for these dwarves to wake up. Geese are prettier. Probably, yeah. I really like the idea of I'm only allowed to, like, memorialize and bury pets. Like, if a cat dies, have to bury that in a coffin. I do actually quite like that. Just realized I unscrewed this up and then rescrewed this up symmetry-wise, which I think is kind of funny. Because that is correct on that. It was right the first time then. Why did I? Okay. I don't actually care about symmetry. I find this kind of process to be kind of mind-numbing. Yeah, that's correct. And we'll just do that. Oopsies. Went over top of my minecart tracks. It's funny. I don't like playing Factorio, I swear. Like, I actually don't. I read that as pet symmetry, Connie. Why the railway? Why not? And then we're going to grab ourselves a stoneworker. Grr. Well, it's more of a side goal. I'm not going to say it's like a guaranteed need part of the goal, but I'm trying to make the fortress dangerous. And the way that I'm starting off with that is by my stone stockpiles are going to include rocks falling on things. It's going to be very efficient, time-wise, but not the Not the safest. At least the drinks count has skyrocketed, so that's good. I'm also going to need to pay attention to the amount of drinks that we have. And once these sweet pods are done, we have to start brewing those. Gravity-assisted production lines? Damn right. A chute dropping rocks at 100 Z levels. I once killed a dwarf with a sock dropping it around that height. So, you know, like anything running at terminal velocity will kill a dwarf. Only one? Oh, that's pretty good. You wiped out a bunch of your dogs with the first activation. Here's the thing. Powered minecarts, very fucking dangerous. Unpowered minecarts, perfectly safe. I think a lot of people just presume that all minecart setups are using powered minecarts. I'm not going to be using powered minecarts for the majority of these. Might use minecarts for defense if we even get that far, but yeah, no, I mean, powered minecarts are extremely dangerous. I'm just gonna make a couple blocks. The thing is, minecarts aren't super efficient. That's the problem. Is because okay. So YouTube chat says I used minecarts once to get wood inside my fort, but never really understood how to use them efficiently. The problem is wheelbarrows make minecarts irrelevant. That's the actual issue. So efficient ways to use minecarts are inherently inefficient. That's the issue. Okay, so I'm going to go right here, and this is going to be a rock salt stockpile. That, or this can just be any other stone. Yeah, let's do that. I also need one of these. That way. They're like automated. Yeah, they're essentially just automatable. Minecarts are essentially automatable wheelbarrows. Then I'm going to go over here, and we're going to do rock salt and rock salt. You are going to take from this stockpile. That's what we're going to do. And then what I need to do is just get this set up, and then we can get our first 2 minecart routes up and running. Which is going to be one from here, and this is going to be called Rock Salt 1. Then I'm going to make a second route, and it's going to be called Rock Salt 2. And you're going to get a stop, which is going to go over here. You are going to load from this. You are going to load from this. You're both going to have a tunnel tube minecart. And, okay. Now I need to think about this. This one here is going to push this way. Yeah, that's fine. Can leave that on default. Have I done these backwards? May have done these backwards. I think I started with this one, so. Stockpile number 4. Yeah, okay. I did, in fact, do them backwards. And then this one is going to go left. And they're both just going to fill with any economic rock. Or any other rock, actually. Yeah, you don't need to construct a stop. It's a pretty, like, important detail that I think nobody knows. Also, you can just place a minecart anywhere. It doesn't even need to be on a track. So it could be, like, on top of a drawbridge or retracting bars or something. I'm out of tea, so water time. Can you weaponize cats? Inefficiently, sure. Cyrolac, hello. It's good to see you. Although, is butchering cats and making them into cat bone bolts considered weaponizing? Now I need to add a second stop to all these, which is going to be this. And it's just going to be when empty, right? When empty of desired items. And then close these two. And then the same with you. You know, let's just set the one up first, because having two set up is like kind of confusing me currently. Let's just start with one, which will be this one. Okay, and then I can set up this one. Doing two at a time is a bit much for my small brain. Some migrants have arrived. That was quick. I will pause the game until this is done. You're going to load from there. And you're going to load all other stone. You're going to take that minecart, and then your second stop is going to be right there. And when you're done, you're going to go south, although only the one. And when empty of desired items. And then that'll dump. Sweet. Okay, so we've got migrants. And Connie would like a dwarf. What kind of dwarf would you like, Connie? Do you want this first one? Who was married to Moses Blazevault. What a name. Holy crap. This is the other cool thing about really old forts, is you'll get these massive old families. This is always, I've seen this happen a couple times now, where it's just like they'll have a relative that's like colored in, but they're naked, which would imply that they're dead, but this person's never been here. Can you get a smooth, so you just want a lady dwarf, basically. Do you want this one? I remember you wanting a lady dwarf previously, so. Thinking a cat, that would just kill the cats. I mean, if you want to like weaponize cats, one, cats aren't an aggressive creature, really. They will defend their owner, but they're very small and weak. If you put like 50 cats in a cage and pulled a lever and opened them up underneath an enemy, that would do that. If you're talking about just shooting cats at things, I would say probably put cages of cats into a minecart, but that's more weaponizing the cage, less the cats. Are there giant cats and dogs? No. There aren't giant variants of, like, pets, basically. She's constantly ablaze with feelings of lust and likes to present herself boldly, even if it would offend the average sense of modesty. Is not a private person and freely shares details of her life. She has a low sense of self-esteem and she is a pessimist. She very easily falls in love and develops positive feelings. Enjoys the company of others and can handle stress. She's pleased by her own appearance and talents, and she likes to do things correctly each time, and she tends to consider what others think of her, and she tends to be swayed by the emotions of others. Takes offered help and gifts without feeling particularly grateful, and she is quick to anger, and she has a noticeable lack of perseverance, and she prefers that everyone lives harmoniously as possible, and she is often cheerful and often acts with a narrow focus on the current activity. Just checking something real quick. There we go. She personally disdains loyalty and dreams of creating a masterwork someday. She likes trifle pewter and bismuthite, mangrove wood and coral, buzzard parchment and the color burnt sienna, leggings, goblets, and pigs for their snorts, and weasels for their long bodies, and that's the second weasel lover, and prefers to consume common snapping turtle while they're here, and, or maybe they're alligator snapping turtles, and spotted ratfish, and wild carrot plants, and barley, and rye flour, and absolutely hates snails. Her slightly protruding cobalt eyes are round, and her very long hair is neatly combed. She is married and has a very large family. You're a former member of the Cult of Couples. You were a member of a leather workers guild previously. This is a cool world already. I need to play more old worlds. Creator of blank, yeah. She made an artifact at some point in the past, which is also why she's legendary. She made a legendary artifact that is unknown. Probably a lost artifact, I would guess, because the game doesn't have the data for it. Speaking of, legendary metal crafter. Baby llama. Stray cat. Random cats. I like both. I think they're very different, is the way I would describe it. So now this is just going to begin filling up. These dwarves are going to just start delivering stuff via minecart as they fill up. So here goes the first minecart. It begins. Currently started at 5. You're pushing into year 85 now. Neat. I have a question. Is that all in one fort or in separate forts? Let's see. I should probably assign a manager and a bookkeeper. Let's make Connie into my manager and my bookkeeper. And I don't know how I'm going to do housing in this fort. No plans for that whatsoever. Does anybody in chat have any preference on how I do housing for this fort? Also, just a reminder, I have a little under an hour before the premiere for my new video starts. So I will be ending the YouTube stream when that happens. And I'm debating on ending the Twitch stream. I don't know. I might just watch it here on Twitch, but I haven't actually decided yet. Because I barely slept last night because I was up late editing. Although we'll do a normal length stream tomorrow. Triangle rooms, housing is too much. I don't mind the idea of like a dorm. We could just do a dorm. Dormitory with pet graves inside. Wow. Y'all are so dark. But yeah, if dormitories are the prevailing take, then we could pretty easily set up dormitories around this. That could look pretty cool. 1x1 rooms, this place will be hell. Well, I don't want clothes to just be everywhere. Maybe hell for the dwarves, not for me, you know. Yeah. What's up, Ladulo? On how do rails work? You set point A and point B. You tell them what they fill up with, and you can tell dwarves either ride them, push them, or kick them. If they kick them, they become dangerous. But I'm just using them to transport boulders as a fun side activity for this fort. Dorms with way too few? I'm not going to say way too few, but yeah, we can do dorms. It is not possible to do that in Dwarf Fortress. I would have to burrow the dwarves, and I'm not willing to do that. Crap.
Crypt lurk.
We're in an ad. right now. Coffer, thanks for the 43rd month. Welcome back. I'm gonna go top off my water. I'll be right back.
Cheese for everyone!
Nuclear vessels.
You fucking donkey!
Bark, 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 bark. You tried to lurk your subbing, yet you got exposed. Oh no! You clicked the wrong button. It's okay. I forgot that you subscribed anyway. Quack Drama. I think that's how you say that name. Thank you very much for the Prime. Appreciate you. You know, I'll be honest with you. One of the gimmicks that like I despise is trying to like split populations of dwarves using burrows. Because often what ends up happening is because in order for that to actually function, you also need to perfectly manage your dwarves' jobs. And for me, like that is one of the most annoying ways you could possibly play the game because I don't like managing dwarves' jobs like that to begin with. So it's just, ugh. You missed the end of last fort. No, you didn't. Last fort's still going. Last fort will resume once this fort's done. This fort is the Halloween special because it's the best month of the year. Speaking of Halloween, chat, have you watched any good horror movies lately? I would like to say thank you to the Suited Giraffe for recommending Late Night with the Devil. I was very surprised that movie was exactly what I thought it was going to be. It's a late night talk show with the devil on it. Very good. From Beyond? Haven't seen it. I also, so far this year, I've watched Ghost Watch, because I had to start with something classic and cheesy. And I also watched the original Halloween, because I love that movie. That's my horror movie score for the year. It's pretty bad still, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Of The Thing plus Hellraiser 1 and 2? Yeah, I should watch The Thing. The Thing's good. I like John Carpenter in general. Massive fan of Assassin's Creed, apparently. John Carpenter. Spoopy times, you presume? The rules for this fort is I'm not allowed to memorialize any dwarves, and I'm trying to intentionally make the fort dangerous using minecarts. But not like, you know, unplayably dangerous, just dangerous, you know? But today's gonna be a short stream because I was up until 2 o'clock in the morning editing a YouTube video, which is gonna be premiering in 45 minutes. So, believe it or not, I'm tired. And me and tired equal not the greatest streams usually, so we're just keeping it easy for me today. Assassin's Creed used to be good. I never really played Assassin's Creed when it was good, so. Dawn of the Dead 2004? Yeah, classic. Classic zombies. I think I have, on my Shudder list, I have Day of the Dead on my list. It's not worth playing anymore. I think that's a matter of opinion, but I've just never been interested in Assassin's Creed. I was mostly just saying that as like a fun fact. That's all it really was. intended as. Just a fun fact. So whenever these have, I think it's roughly 6 boulders is the amount that one of these can hold. It's either 5 or 6. Are you loading? I don't think so. Nope, nope, you are. Those are heavy. Rocks be heavy. From HBO Nosferatu? Did they do one recently? Was it that bad, Coffer? That bad, huh? That's unfortunate. There's also Casserite, like, everywhere. Like, everywhere, man. I'm kind of tempted to give the dwarves, like, put the dwarves' dormitory, like, right, like, by the waterfall so that they get some good mood bounce kickback, but, like, at the same time, I feel like that goes against the spirit of the fort, so. I think I do still want the fort to look cool, though. Put goats inside the dormitory. But then I'd have to have grass in the dormitory. That would require a lot of buckets. This will be the dormitory. It's called Salem's Lot. Okay, that I do know. That I do recognize. That is familiar. Against the spirit of the fort. Well, I mean, making the dwarves happy is kind of against the spirit of the fort, yeah. Grass and dormitory equal good? I mean, I guess. I could make the ceiling leaky, actually. I could dig up into the aquifer, because there's an aquifer up. Actually, nope, there is an aquifer up here. So I could dig up and into the aquifer, and I could make the ceiling drippy. That would get grass in the dormitory eventually. What do you think? So here's what we could do. Dig up to here. Because when they dig up, it won't cancel due to damp walls. Can't have spooky place without drippy ceiling. I mean, I think you probably can, but sure. It does kind of work with the aesthetic, though. Yeah, that'll be fine. And then I can just channel down, channel down, channel down, channel down. Well, actually, we can go up first. Channel. Yep. Okay, so let's, whoops. Go up, up, up. Land me right there, yep. Up, 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 up. And then you right to there. And then we'll channel down. Dripping ceiling sounds awful. Do it. Okay. On it. Let's say, great. Because I do have a manager now. And fun fact, managers can work without an office up until you have 20 dwarves. Which I only learned fucking recently. Which, you know. So now this will just work. In fact, they work faster, I find. Can we just put them in a cage? Well, what does that have to do with anything? And also, no, you can't. You can't assign a dwarf to a cage, I don't think. You have to arrest them for something. My prison could actually be cages. Nobles are scary. I mean, I could just not appoint a noble. There we go. With metal bars for walls. Sure. I really like my multi-layer nonsense. I like being able to see multiple layers at once. Ah, great. I'm gonna have to do this multiple times, aren't I? It begins. Well, it's beginning. We simply must put a dwarf behind the cellar wall, too. I'm not sure what this has to do with anything. The fort's gonna die really quickly as soon as dwarves start dying, so, like, why do I have to, like, torture them in the process, right? I don't get. What am I building? I'm making it rain. Literally. The rib cage? Sure. I didn't really think about it as a rib cage, but I was waiting for someone to call this a butt plug, actually, but, you know. But maybe once a dwarf dies, we could put a dwarf skeleton behind a wall. Because, like, I haven't figured out how I'm going to dispose of bodies yet. The last time I did a fort like this, dwarves that died just got chucked into lava. But, like, I'm totally game to just, you know, distribute bodies onto pedestals around places. Like, that's fine. But we need to wait for them to appear first. We need to wait for the bodies to be accessible. You heard me, shark plug. An atom smasher? I mean, I try to not use atom smashers for anything. I try to not use them for defense. I try to not use them as weapons, and I try to not use them for garbage disposal, because they're too easy. It's like, I don't know. Yeah, I try not to use them. Not a fan. Like, they're not bad. You can. They're a good strat. But I guess, actually, here's the better answer. I used them too much for too long. So they're no longer interesting and haven't been interesting for a while. That's the issue that I have with them. Oh, the other thing I need. How many of these do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 12. Cancel. Great. Give me 12 grates. Yeah, no, I'm not going to use drawbridges to crush things. The only times I crush things with drawbridges is by accident, and that's hysterical. That's just comedy. Like the one time that happened in the last fort that we did. Because that was very funny. All right. I don't mind the little minecarts running back and forth. All right, this is gonna go up to allow me to destroy these stairs. Then I'm just gonna go up to here and do this. And this is where the grates are gonna go. I can't remember if I actually have a dumping zone still. Just gonna go plop a dumping zone right here. Just a trash zone so I can get those boulders out of there. And then I can go up here, and then I can go floor grate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, I need 2 more. Need to find bats? I mean, we may find some in caves. So this is going to be our goat farm slash dormitory. Are you pleased, chat room? I may also need to make a drain for this. I don't know. It's probably not gonna. It's not gonna be that damp up here, is it? It's probably not. Probably. Probably not. That little girl went missing? Oh, definitely, yes. That child definitely just went missing. That's all that happened. Kind of tempted to also do these. So I need an additional 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do 5. Yeah, there are cave bats. There's also the vermin variety that I can't remember the name of. I think there's giant ones and then not giant ones. There's a lot of stuff getting moved. Push track vehicle, let's see. Let's watch you push the vehicle. Give it a shove. So I have a question, chat. Am I putting the beds onto mud or am I putting them onto bricks? I mean, there will be mud on the bricks eventually, but like, where am I? Beds put, yes. Am I putting flooring down or no? Is the question. Bricks is, I mean, there's going to be mud there eventually, regardless. What's up, Retro? Also, I just realized I totally forgot to lock the surface again. So if there's zombies, we're potentially in trouble. But me thinks we're okay. So in 30 minutes, my next major video premieres. Twitch chat question: Do you want me to watch it so you guys can have director's commentary, or do you guys just want to watch it? Because if you just want to watch it, then I will raid somebody and then watch it. Otherwise, I can stream it. Put the beds on walls that have ramps up to them. I can rest after the video, it's fine. It's not actually a bad idea. The problem is that limits this area, but I could do like, oops, wrong button. I actually don't mind that much. Just like weird suspended beds. In like a nonsense pattern. Just gonna make a cursed fort. Everyone will hate it here. Oh, that was only priority 4. That's why those aren't getting done. And that'll be fine. I mean, the YouTube stream is just going to become the, what's it called?
Also, good
the
luck with the video
premiere. So if you're
submitted
watching
my
on
thesis
YouTube,
yesterday,
just keep in
so
mind
that's a load
that
of my
I will
back
be ending
laughing
the
face.
YouTube stream.
Hope the video releasing brings some relief.
I mean, this is one that's been in the works for a while, so yeah. This is the most times I've had to restart working on a video. I'm wondering, I was just kind of curious if that dwarf got to be near on the aquifer at all and was happy, but no, doesn't seem like it. I may actually have to build like a drain for this. I wonder if they can build that, or if I'll need to build something next to it so that they can build it. What's the goal of this fort? Exclamation point goal! We'll give you a answer to that question pretty quick. So that's the dormitory. And then we'll pen pasture the goats beneath it. And there you go. The first bed is now constructed. This is a kind of a nightmare. Not gonna lie. I hate everything about this. This is awesome. Refuse stockpile in bedroom? Let's workshop that idea for a little bit. I mean, if I pen pasture one cat there, there will be refuse there anyway. I was kind of thinking about just not making a refuse stockpile. And just letting, like, there be dead animals everywhere. Because that's going to be the result. These dwarves are going to drown before the ghosts get them? No, they won't. No, they definitely won't. It's not going to drain that much faster than this. It's basically, like, as, like, rainy as it's going to get. What do I think about smoothing and then cutting fortifications under the wall on the riverside? I mean, if you want to drain, I could just build a trench here and let that drain out there on the riverside. Although, something I hadn't thought about is if the water freezes, that might actually kill a bunch of dwarves. I think we might be far enough away from the north that it won't freeze. What's on the map? I don't like these giant wrens. What up with these giant wrens? Come on. What the fuck? Actually, I'm kind of curious. Is there anything dead? This must not be a resurrecting biome because the waterfall's in the... Well, actually, maybe not. Waterfall seems to be in mountains, so it's definitely not resurrecting. Otherwise, this would have come back, right? I mean, we could totally put, like, just blank gravestones down here. That's totally something we could do. I need to make a wood stockpile. Also need to get rid of this. So let's go right here and extend this by 1. or just a few right there. Because this right now is my only way up to where trees is. So since that's my only way up to where trees is, I'm just gonna make a wood stockpile right here. Actually, let me check something. This still allows wood, right? Here. Get rid of that. Go down to here. And make a nice small stockpile. Wood. Yes. You up here. Brew drink from fruit. Brew drink from plant. Because we in cave wheat season now. I need to kill some dwarves to get ghosts. Oh, dwarves will die. Don't worry about that. I have some other plans too that I also haven't talked about much. By that I mean at all. Let's just wait for the second half of that. Let's go right here. Say track stop up. This right here is going to be for wood. Fortunately, with this one, I don't need to be particularly specific. And then you right here, load from this, you right here, load all wood. Your second stop, did I set that to dump? I can't remember. Doop. Let's try this again. There we go. And you are going to connect to here. And then you're going to say, go this way immediately when empty of items. I mean, I need another one to show up. There was a bunch. It's either that or alligator snapping turtles. I mean, maybe I could just agitate the surface. Although, then knowing my luck, it would just be giant birds that I get. You know, I'll be honest with you, Tom T. I haven't seen an ad on YouTube in like 3 years because I just had YouTube Premium. I write it off on my taxes. Although it is a grim reminder of the winter hardships to come, the supply caravan from the Lancers of Martyring is a welcome sight. Their eyes are alight with anticipation of inspecting the splendid products of your industrious craft stores. Yeah, def that. Take careful stock of your own stores. What these merchants might offer might very well be the difference between a prosperous future and a slow and meaningless death. I think I might just not trade this year. Yeah, I think that's my plan, is to just not trade this year. I'll make the trading depot. But the reason I'm thinking I just won't trade this year is I kind of want the initial year's migrants to be smaller. It's still going. It is definitely proper English. Well, it's fine enough, neither. That fort's not done yet. I haven't retired it. This is a different world. And this is specifically for, like, Halloween, essentially. Slow and meaningless. Absolutely. The best kind of death. Also gonna just harvest a bunch of plants on the surface. And I should shrink this a little bit. And make a farmer's workshop. I mean, a slow and entertaining death is also entertaining. Well, see, here's the thing. I want this fort to actually kind of get going a little bit. I don't... If we start killing dwarves right away, this fort won't last like 3 streams, right? And I will be doing a normal length long stream tomorrow and on Friday. And then on the following Tuesday, the following Wednesday, the following Thursday, and then I go on vacation. So I want this stream to last at least 6 streams. If we can start killing people right now, it won't last that long. I mean, the last time I did this, it lasted 3. There you go, Naramis. Glad you're enjoying it, mate. But, you know, I could go into here and just say, make me some slabs and make me some coffins just to get the, you know, the aesthetic going. Just to get the aesthetic going. Dusk meets with the outpost liaison, who's named Attis Urvadatis. Oh, that's why you asked where it's at. 3 something? I'll be honest with you. I don't remember. I edited for 14 hours yesterday. All I can think about right now is video editing timelines. So I think it's 300 something. It was like 350, I think. It went up. It's getting there. I'm going to import puzzle boxes for no particular reason. They want shell rings and sheet. Shell rings and sheet. All right, got it. Got it, mate. Shell rings and sheet. And this dwarf right here, my bookkeeper, needs a throne. Let's make rock thrones. But the fortress mode portion of the stream is actually getting pretty close to an end. Because the premiere for the NVIDIA is in 15 minutes. Then we'll be watching that video, and then I'm gonna go to bed, probably. And that's not the tool I need. This is the tool I need. Did I not make more beds? I thought I queued up more beds. Right. I need to finish this before I can queue up beds. Because this is going to be the minecart route for wood. I just need wood to be in this. Because currently there is none. So let's go up to here. Just go pick out some pecan trees because, you know, if you need a log, you pecan tree. Let's also grab some chestnut. Why not? It's also a good color. There's more pecans. Chestnut. Chestnut, chestnut. Maybe we can... Here's the thing, Deadly. I get it. Nobody is acknowledging my statements of I do want this fort to last a little bit. Let's table these murderous ideas until dwarves start dying. Okay? Because I'm already, like, making basically a dwarven 1 in a million lottery where you might just randomly get splatted. Right? So. This will get violent. Patience is a virtue. This is true. There is no pecan tree. You can't, you pecan or you pecan, but you can't pecan tree. But harvesting a lot of ratweed. I don't even know if those are cookable. I think it's brewable. Bitter vetch leaf. Let's milk some animals. Make some cheese. What? Did we already milk an animal? Or is there just nothing milkable? Oh, I see. He was trying to milk a goat. We milked a goat. Sweet. Okay. The other thing I want to do is shear animals and spin thread, if I have any. But we are making goat cheese. I don't want to start killing yet, average chat member. What if we start killing everything now? This is true, yes. This is exactly the way this series of words have been going. No Mall here making cheese. He's the heart of the cheese. Should probably also make a tavern. I mean, we already have dwarves that are getting upset, right? Like, this is not going to take a very long time.
Cheese for everyone!
Let's just watch this log thing get filled up. This one's gonna go a lot more consistently. Yeah, let's just not. Let's not. Lottie, let's not. It's pronounced pecan, not pecan. Got it. So where does pelican fit into this discussion? There's kittens already, chat. Shall we begin the butchering? Let's not forget that we threw a cat into the caverns to explore the caverns. And then somehow a female cat ended up in the caverns as well. So we have two cats we have a breeding pair of cats in the caverns already. And we've just begun. So there's this, actually, hold on. Let me see if I can. Also, this is such a cool cavern. What the fuck? Holy shit. Man, if this wasn't a suicide fort. I'm looking for cavern kittens. There's one. It's just the one cavern kitty. You know, I'm actually, okay. Chat, what do I name the cavern kitty? Spelunker? I'm trying to think of a name for a kitty in the caves. There's a dead cave spider. Also, where'd you go, kitty? There you are. Nothing, LT Lars. Or L-Tars. Nothing happened to it. It's still there, and we will pick it up after Halloween's over. I do seasonal forts sometimes. Dropper, okay. And she's given birth to a boy, which means there should be a cavern kit. Up. This is the other one. This one can be. I like Splunky. Splunky. Cat dispenser. Dispense all the kitties. Not a bad start to a fort, if I do say. I mean, obviously, like, this is one of the shorter fort streams I've ever done. Name it Pumpkin. We can name one of the cats who isn't, like, doomed to die to a forgotten beast inevitably Pumpkin. But I have to say that this is genuinely one of the most disturbing, demented bedrooms I've ever made. Good job, chat. That's all. This bedroom is disturbing. And I can pen pasture some goats down here now. The essence of misery. Also, goats stink. Are these dwarves getting waterboarded? You know, ironically, they'll probably really like it. You're embarrassed after sleeping without a proper bedroom. Well, that's the least of your concerns. Wait, where's your waterfall happiness? Dwarf? There's a waterfall right there, and there's a cat on this bed. That's a cat operating as intended. Fully functional kitty. Let's just go carpenter shop. And the logs are slowly getting distributed down here. Very slowly. Although the carpenter shop will need to take from this stockpile. Don't clean the rocks? Oh, I'm cleaning the rocks. I am absolutely cleaning up the rocks. How else am I going to make this place full of decorations? I mean, you have to decorate for the holidays. Okay. We're going to take from that. Let's just make some more beds. And I think you're going to make table and chairs.
Dr_Linden cheered X300 for some cat litter.
Thank you. We're going to need that for the cat litter fund? The cat litter fund. Here come the goats. They're going to be invisible from the layer above, though. But, yeah. We now have goats. Goats in the fort. Hey, chat, can I get a round of beers for that $3? So, chat room, I realize that this, like I said earlier, is probably one of the shortest, like, Dwarf Fortress fort mode streams I've ever done, at least in the last couple of years. But I'm going to call it here now for the fort, because I've got a video premiering that I was up until 2 in the morning editing, which we're going to watch on stream here on Twitch, and the YouTube stream is going to become the premiere. So if you want director's commentary, stick around here on Twitch. And if you don't want director's commentary, you can go watch on YouTube directly. Or, like, if you want to mute me, watch them both. I don't know. I'm not going to be talking that much. But, yeah, so we're gonna call it here. The video is Dwarf Fortress related, so don't fear too much. But I will be picking this fort up again tomorrow, 9 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. on YouTube, and we'll be going for like 10 hours instead of like, 4. Or however long we've been going. Although a chunk of that was also like embarking, which, is slow. Slow going. So. Alrighty, so I'll be honest, I've never actually made a stream on YouTube run into something else and become something else, so end